Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. Today is the day. I've been talking about this big announcement for the past few weeks here in the channel, and it finally happened yesterday, and you guys are going to see it here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I want to give you guys some updates here on what's been going on in the past few weeks. And the first thing is the improvements I made on the mechanic shop. Now, if you're wondering what that shop is, you guys have seen it already on this channel. It's just been a cluttered mess up until now. Let me show you. So this right here, friends, is the Sawmill building. It's 70 feet long and it's 20 feet wide. Now the Sawmill is on the very back of it. That's a 40-foot section, but this front part is 20 by 30, and I rarely do any recording in there because it's been such a mess for the past few years, to be honest with you guys. I was kind of embarrassed even to show it to you all. So about 2 weeks ago, I decided to take some time and finally get this little area squared away. The reason we're going to call this the mechanic shop is all the mechanic tools will be in there for one. That's a no-brainer. I brought up the welder from the other shop, and also the blacksmith forge and all the anvils will be going in here as well. It really didn't make sense to have the welder and the forge and all that metalworking stuff in the woodworking shop. There's a fire hazard there, and there's not enough room for both, to be honest with you. So I redid this little mechanic shop, but we're going to have everything in the same area. All the welding tools, all my mechanic tools, and all that stuff. And you guys saw just now on the front of this video some footage from 2 weeks ago. I bought me a new toolbox also because I had tools scattered everywhere in here. This place was a mess, guys. It looks a whole lot better now. All right, guys, this is the mechanic shop. Like I was saying earlier, it's 20 by 30. Mr. Cotto stays in here year-round. That's his permanent position right there. Over here, we got the T25. This will be moved to a different location. I'll show that to you guys in a few minutes, and I'm not selling it. I'm just going to store it somewhere else. Over here on this wall is where the blacksmith area is going to be. I'll put my forge right there, the anvil, actually both anvils, I got 2 of them, and put all my grinders right there against that wall. And I'll probably come in here with some shiplap or maybe some metal to cover this up to make it look a little better. So over here we have a new workbench. This is a U-line workbench. I'll be putting that together hopefully sooner than later. Got some exposed wires right there. I got some electrical issues to take care of in here. Got my air compressor. Let me see here, got a filing cabinet and some storage right there. And this is a huge improvement, guys. Before, you couldn't even walk in this area. So between Mr. Cotto and the wall, there was so much stuff on the floor, you couldn't even walk through here. It was awful. I should have done better. And when I first moved here, I actually had intentions on making this shop really nice, and I did put some shiplap right there on the walls. So over here we have the main entry door, and look over the tripod right there in the way. Got Mr. Cotto again, and before you guys ask me in the comments, that's a Tennessee state flag. People always ask what that flag is. That's the state flag of Tennessee. Now I did spend some money on this shop though when I first moved here because we put closed cell insulation on the ceiling right there, and that was a really good investment of about $2,000. Refrigerator right there. Got some storage. Got my Maine Silvertip Turbo 7 blades right there. Got plenty of sawmill blades for the mill. I got my sharpener right there. I also have a new setter to show you guys. That will be in a video here in about a week or so. So panning back over, here's something, friends, I found on Facebook Marketplace, and I couldn't believe I found it. I got this for $40. Check it out. Has a handle right there. You turn the knob, open it up, and look at all those drawers right there. I love organization in a shop, even though for the past few years, this shop has been a disaster. So these drawers, guys, check it out. Look how deep they are. They're almost 28 inches deep. This was a great find right here. $40. Can't believe I found it that cheap. So right here above it, we have some more organizers. And this is a Durham organizer. You can get these on Amazon. I'll leave a link down below, but they're kind of expensive. I got a socket set right there. And this right here, friends, is the new toolbox I was talking about. And this is a U.S. General, which means it comes from Harbor Freight. And it's pretty empty right now. I just started moving tools in it the other day. I got a lot of stuff to organize in here and kind of place in this box as I need them. This is a really nice box. It was on sale the other day, but I was there a week before it was on sale, so I didn't catch that sale price. And this was $600, but I think it's made pretty good. Harbor Freight in the past few years have really done a good job, I think, on making their quality a whole lot better. I think this will be a nice box. And one thing I really like on a lot of toolboxes, in order to open up a drawer, you have to raise the lid. On this one, you have a switch right there, so you can leave it unlocked. So if this top is closed, I can still open my drawers right here. And these drawers have these little fasteners right there that keep them closed. So if you move this toolbox around, the drawer won't come open on you. Something else I bought while I was there was this little holster that sits on the side and holds all your impact guns and your drills. I thought that was pretty neat. The only thing about it is it's not made specifically for this toolbox. So there's a little bit of a lip right there so the lid cannot close down all the way. But I'll probably leave the lid up all the time anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So that's the new toolbox. I'm really happy with it. I should have bought this a long time ago. Toolboxes are expensive, but they're good investments. And also, friends, I started putting stickers on the new toolbox. So if you have a YouTube channel or some type of business and you want to send me your sticker, I'll put it on this toolbox. My P.O. Box address is down in the video description. And real fast, guys, let me share with you something really simple that I bought at Harbor Freight. Keyword is bought. This video is not sponsored by Harbor Freight. I don't know anybody that works there, guys. I'm just showing the tools that I bought from there. But these little hooks have helped me really organize stuff and make things in here a lot cleaner. So I bought a bunch of these hooks right here, more than I need at the time. I got a heavy duty one right there and these smaller ones. And guys, these are really handy because you can put them on the side of your cabinets and hang, a chain, hooks, all kinds of stuff that come in these little plastic packs that you just need one of, or maybe you don't even need it yet, you just bought it for some other reason. Hang them on those hooks. All this stuff was laying on the floor in here, guys. It was a disaster. I should have done this a long time ago. These hooks help you really stay organized. All right, friends, let's warm up the 754 for just a minute because we need to take a ride, and I'll show you guys what the big announcement is. All right, friends, right here's the big announcement. We're on a different property than where we live. I'm about 40 yards away from my place, and this is my neighbor's place, or it used to be their home. We bought it yesterday. It's 3 acres. It's got an older double-wide home on it, a 2-car garage, and this barn right here. And guys, I couldn't be happier. I've been wanting to buy more land since I moved here, and I always told my neighbors, if you ever decide to move away and sell, let me know first. I'll probably take it off your hands. I was at the Paul Bunyan show in early October, and I got a phone call from this neighbor, and they offered it to us, and I told her, don't put it on the market, we will take it. So here we are, guys. It's been about 2 months. Me and my wife signed the papers yesterday, so it now belongs to us. And let me show you some of the plans here at this property. I'm really excited about this. For the past 10 years, guys, one of the things I've been working toward is buying more land. Now, I've been here for 5 years, and I've always had an open offer to all my neighbors. If you ever decide to sell, let me know. And this is the first person to take me up on it. All right, guys, so here's the features of this property. It's just over 3 acres. It's about 40 yards from my property. It's just across a right-of-way. I can be here in a matter of seconds. I can see the whole thing from my front porch. It's got an older manufactured home on it. It was put here in 1987. And that double wide is not going to be a rental. That's going to be for my mother-in-law. She's going to live in the double wide, so we'll have an on-site tenant that we trust. No rentals or none of that mess. We've got a 2-car garage up here right beside the house that I'll use for storage. And most importantly, I got myself a proper pole barn right there. I think it's 24 by 30 if I remember right, and it has a full loft. And it used to have water and electricity run to it, but it was damaged for some reason a while back, I can't remember what the homeowner said, or the seller said rather, but we're gonna repair that here in the next few weeks and run power and water down here to the barn. All right guys, so up there on top of the hill is the house. Like I said, it's an older double wide. It will be more than adequate for my mother-in-law to live in. Right there's the 2-car garage. Inside that garage, I'm going to store the TYM T25 tractor, my 4-wheeler, and maybe the log splitter, so I'll get some use out of that garage. And over here we have an old fence line. There's some cattle that live on the other side of this fence. I'm going to come in here and clean all this up, make it look nice and pretty. And over here, of course, we have the barn. This barn is about, I think they said, about 30 years old. It's nice and solid. It does have a few small repairs that need done. The fascia board needs either painted or wrapped in metal. They used to keep cattle in here, and it's not had anything in it, I think, for about 10 plus years, maybe longer. It does have a dirt floor. There's no concrete in it. There's a little gap right there on the back side of it. The property line is over here, guys, on the other side of all these vines. We'll be cleaning this up. And it just needs a little bit of maintenance, guys. It's been looked over for the past few years. It does have some gutters on it, which is good, but it needs a fresh coat of paint. These are sliding doors. It has one on the front and the back. And the sliders, they haven't been used a whole lot, guys. They're kind of stiff, so we'll have to look at that as well. And there is a door up there for the second story on the loft. The loft is really nice. It's nice and solid, and it's the full width and length of the building. It's not a half loft, it's a full loft on the top. Back out here in the front again, I'm going out of order. Right there's the house, of course. This is the front yard or front pasture. This is where they ran the cows at years ago. There's an old fence on the other side of the creek, and that is the property line right there. So we need to clean up all this creek right here, take the old fence out and put a new one in, and it goes all the way down there to the road. So that's good right there. Just need to get in here and clean that mess up. Like I was saying, guys, this will be the most unedited video I've ever made, probably. So back here, we're walking beside the barn, and back here, friends, is going to be a challenge. All that's mine right there. It's about 500 feet deep and 100 foot wide. And this used to have cows on it, and I think maybe some horses also. But as you can see, nothing's been on that ground as far as grazing goes in probably 10 or 20 years. Right there, we got a little trail that's made by the deer, I'm assuming. And right there is the creek that runs on the front of the property. It's nice to have running water on your land, friends. That's always a nice feature. And it just needs a lot of cleaning up, guys. This will be a really nice place once I get back here and do some mowing and knock down all this brush. There's a fence line. That's the property line on this side. Got some barbed wire laying right there. Some box elder trees. Just a lot of junk in here that just really needs cleaned up, and it will look really nice. Luckily, I got the machines to do it, and I'm looking forward to the work, to be honest with you. As you look on this side, there's a large ash tree right there. And I'm not sure if it's on me or my neighbor beside me with the cattle, but it's dead standing. So that tree needs to come down, and hopefully I can work out a deal with him. We can get that on the ground, because I do not want that tree eventually falling on my barn. Or that dead tree on the other side of the barn. That's on my neighbor right there. And that one needs to come down sooner than later right there. That's a definite hazard on the building. So as you can see, friends, this back pasture is a disaster. That's going to be a lot of work right there, but I am really looking forward to it, because I'll be in my tractor and the track loader, and there'll be a lot of videos being made as we clear this out back here. I need to put in some culverts. There is a culvert right in here. Am I pointing to the right place? I am. So there's a culvert right there. I found it about a month ago when I was back here doing some bushwhacking, trying to figure out what was going on and what the property was like. But that culvert is galvanized and it is crushed. I may be able to drive my tractor over it, I'm not sure, but we will be replacing that culvert. That's one of the first things we'll do. I'll come in here and mow this down and get over there to where the culvert is and dig that out. Probably get an excavator or something like that. I will not be doing that with the tractor, but definitely need to replace that culvert. There's so many pear trees back here, I can't count them, put it that way. And it's not pear trees that you eat, it's Bradford pears. Those things are invasive, and they've really taking a hold back here on this field. I could count 30 or 40 just standing here. And they're good sized ones. They're about 10 or 15 feet tall. They're too tall, my goodness, Nathan, you can't talk. They're too tall, and the stems, or the trunk rather, is too thick for bush hogging. They're about 5 or 6 inches. So we need to dig those out. But I think Mr. Cotto can probably get underneath those with my bucket and pry them right out of the ground. What do you guys think? I think that'll work. So I'm gonna try to get this door open, and I'll show you guys what's inside the barn, which right now is pretty much nothing. But there will be a lot of stuff in here very soon. Come on, work for me now. This is YouTube. Everything's perfect on YouTube. All right, guys, like I was saying, I'm pretty sure this building is 24 by 30. I'll have to remeasure that. But they did have cattle and horses both in here. Right there are the stalls for those. It does have a dirt floor. There's no concrete in this building. And they did have power coming down here at one time. Like I was saying, we will reestablish that. And they also used to have water, but they had a water line bust on the house, or going to the house. And when they redone the water, they forgot to connect it down here, but we will fix that. I want to have water down here. It's a little dark back here, guys. Look over the lighting. Got this door. So right here, friends, there's a wooden platform to stand on. Looks like they kept some tools in here. The lighting's terrible, I apologize, but right there is the ladder that goes up to the loft. I'll take you guys up in the loft on the next video. I wouldn't do it tonight because you wouldn't be able to see anything. Close this up for now. And over here on the other side of the barn is the same door that we just came in, or the same size rather, on rollers. So this is where the cows and the horses stayed. And that's what's going to be in here in the future, guys. I'm going to get some cows and put down here. That's one of the reasons we bought this place, is because I'm going to get into cattle and I needed more land for that. I doubt you guys can tell, but there's some rot on the bottom of these doors right here. I'm going to rebuild these with some sassafras, you know, the stuff that smells like root beer, for 2 reasons. Number 1, I got plenty of it. Number 2, sassafras is really, really good for rot resistance, especially when it's out in the elements. So it should last a long time. As far as what's going to go in the barn, friends, like I was saying, we'll have the cows. They'll have access to the back side where the stalls are. And on this front side that's wide open, I'm going to be parking my new tractor in there. It should be here in about 2 weeks. And it is a TYM, guys. It's a little bit smaller than this one, and it's not a cab tractor, so I need to park it somewhere out of the weather. And right there is the dead ash tree I was talking about. And this is as close as I've ever been to it. And it looks like it's right on the property line. I think the fence goes right between it right there, right through the middle of it rather. Looks like it won't be hard to follow though, because it's leaning toward this pasture. I'll probably take that one down myself after I tell my neighbor about it. There's a lot of cedars on this tree line as well. Need to take those down and get rid of them. A lot of cleanup back here, guys. A lot of cleanup. But I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Bush hogging and clearing off land with machines. That's a good time right there, I'll tell you what. Especially if you own the land. I know you guys can't tell because I don't smile on this channel a lot, but if you rate my excitement on a scale of 1 to 10, right now it's probably a 12. I've been wanting to buy more land, friends, for a long time. A long time. Can't believe it finally happened. So there's a few reasons, friends, we bought this property other than my need or my desire to want more land. An investment, you can't go wrong buying land, friends. My mother-in-law needed a better place to stay. She was living in an apartment over in downtown area and it was really bad over there, so we're getting her out of that whole situation. We're really happy about that. And I want to expand my farm. And a lot of people ask me on this channel all the time, how much land do you have? And I don't really give that information out just because I don't like to tell everything about myself on this channel, even though you guys see most of it. So here's the deal. This is 3 acres, I own 5 acres, so now I have 8. So that's one step closer in building this farm I've been trying to start since we moved here 5 years ago. Now we have more land, we have more buildings, we have more places to put up more structures. We have more pasture, we can have cattle, we can have more chickens. The possibilities are endless. And don't worry guys, I'll be taking you along with me for this entire process as we take this land and turn it into a working farm and reestablish the fence, do the barn work, everything we've talked about today. I'm going to video every bit of it guys, so you guys will be right here with me as we make this place really nice. So thanks for watching friends, I really appreciate it, and we'll see you back here tomorrow and we're going to start some work down here. You guys have a good evening.